Hey guys, welcome back on the channel. In this video I'm going to show you a very simple step-by-step process to start yield farming on Solana. And it's going to be very low risk, at least compared with other DeFi opportunities. Bear in mind that low risk in DeFi doesn't mean zero risk. There's always going to be smart contract risk. And that goes for every protocol out there, even protocols that have never been hacked. So that's something you need to have in mind. But Solana is a bullish blockchain. Solana's current price is at $125 per token. It has been taking a hit as all of the crypto market for the past weeks. This is the max chart as you can see, but if we tighten up the time frame, you can see that not long ago in the beginning of, well, not the beginning, but mid to late January, price of Solana was at over $280, and from there on it has been going down. Of course, this is very tightly correlated with the event of Bitcoin also dropping in price. Bitcoin drives the whole crypto market. Make no mistake. So we saw Bitcoin at around 100k, now it's at 81k, and that's going to reflect in overall all of the crypto market. So probably this is going to be a very good point in time to get in, because it's better to get in a dip than at an all-time high. So let's take a look at what you can do. Now first, I want to bring you back here to Sanctum, which is a protocol I covered in my last video. I'll link it down below in case you haven't watched it. It will give you a full comprehensive breakdown of how the protocol works, how you can earn yield on it, even as a complete beginner. But basically, you want to have some Solana in your wallet, and you can come here and trade it for any of the featured liquid staking tokens. Very briefly, that's how Sanctum works. You trade Solana for any of these other liquid staking tokens, you start earning yield. You see all of these tokens have an associated APY, and that's the yield that holders earn just by trading Solana for any of these, because once you trade it, your Solana becomes staked, it goes to a validator node and starts earning you yield as a return for you to helping secure the blockchain. You're sending your Solana to work, basically that's that. And since this is a liquid staking protocol, your Solana gets to stay liquid in the shape of one of these hundreds of derivatives that Sanctum has. So if you want to go with the most popular option, with the stuff that is more proven and it has more holders, you can sort things out here by holders, and you'll have two great options straight away: G2 staked Sol and Marinade staked Sol. There's also going to be another that I can advise you to check out, like Jupiter staked Sol or Infinity. Jupiter, Marinade, and G2, they are each a big Solana player, a big protocol in the Solana ecosystem. And then you have Infinity, which is the flagship product here from Sanctum. And basically, whenever you're swapping tokens here on Sanctum, you're paying fees which are going to pay out to infinite token holders. And you can see here the infinite token. Let's check more info. So you're earning staking yields plus trading fees, right? And this is where liquid staking tokens shine. You can take them and you can apply them to other DeFi opportunities. So let's say you trade your Solana here for infinite token. You start earning an APY that is roughly 10%, 9.97. Then you can take your infinite tokens, and let's use here CoinGecko for example. I found this Solana inf pool. Today the volume, it's nothing special. It's virtually zero, accounting for the liquidity. But at some point in time, even yesterday, this pool was having a really great volume to liquidity ratio. It had a volume of over $1 million. And that's what you want when you're providing liquidity. And if you take part on this opportunity or some other DeFi opportunities, what you're doing is that you're stacking yields. Not only you'll be earning 10% just by holding the infinite token, but also if you pull it here with Solana, you start earning the fees that are generated on this pool. Now let's jump here to DeFi Llama to check the correlation between the infinite token and the Solana token. This will determine if this pair is very prone to impermanent loss or not. So the past year, pretty much perfect correlation, 0.99. The maximum score would be 1. For the past month, 1. Perfect score. For the past 7 days, 1. So you see, this is a great opportunity in theory just because of that. It means that their prices go so hand in hand, they move so closely together that theoretically there will be virtually no impermanent loss. And that has been the case for the past year. So where are these pools? Well, this specific one is on Meteora, also one of the top dexes on Solana. we can find other pools for the infinite token. So let's use Gecko Terminal for that. I'm gonna go and write infinity, and right now it's showing me the top 3 pools. And there's even more. There's a fourth one here, a fifth one here. You can also see that they are very old pools. They have been around for almost a year. And for example, you can source from here to see which pools are having the most action. For example, this one is on Orca, another leading DEX on Solana, and the volume for the past day has been over $875,000, liquidity a little over $500,000. So this one is behaving much better, and it's also older. As you can see, this has been created for almost 2 years. We have another one here on Meteora with a volume which is roughly half of the liquidity. So let's go here with the first one. It's the one that, at least for the past 24 hours, has performed the best. But also you can expect these things to change even on a daily basis. Tomorrow, some other pool might be outperforming this one. It pretty much depends on the market, where people are trading more. But as long as you are using one of the leading DEXs on Solana, which can be Orca, Meteora, Radium, you're gonna get a ton of action consistently over time. So don't worry all that much about it. So the first step was trade some of your Solana for infinity on Sanctum, and then you can come here on Orca. When you use Gecko Terminal, you have a ton of options here just by clicking the trade button, and in this case they already have a link for Orca, so you can go straight ahead, jump onto Orca and look for pools. Now once you click the pools tab, you will see all of the liquidity pools currently operating on Orca, but we want the ones with the infinity token, so I'm gonna write infinity, and here we go. So you see it's just the exact first pool that it's showing here, over $500,000 in TVL, a volume of $874,000. The fee tier here is very low, it's 0.01%, but that's just because they are extremely well correlated assets. And actually they are assets which have a very solid market cap, so that also influences the pool fee tier. So this pool fee tier shows you that it's a very stable pool, and in these cases it's something that you want to provide liquidity on the long run. This is not going to yield you 5, 10, 15% a day. You can get there with other much riskier choices, but here we're talking about something stable. And remember, your infinite tokens are already earning some APY just because the nature of them, okay? So this is yield on top of yield. You're stacking yields. So now you're gonna click the pool that you choose. It can be this one, it can be some other one. Maybe you find something which suits you better. And then you'll see here estimated yield for the next 24 hours. This is always based on past performance. And it's also showing you the deposit ratio. So this is a range that currently we have selected full range. That means we are going to deposit 50% in infinite token and 50% in the Solana token. If you go full range, it will also, 1, never go out of range, and 2, earn you very low fees. But if you want to start playing with concentrated liquidity, you click the custom tab and now you can set up ranges. So you have 3 different ranges just set up that you can click, and it automatically apply to your liquidity position: 10%, 5%, and 1%. You can see these columns here in the middle. This is where liquidity providers are concentrating most of their liquidity. And the more you tighten up the range, you see the estimated yield here keeps growing. So if I go back, let's say to 5%, you see I'm yielding less than 0.0 something a day. If I go to 1%, I'm yielding 0.002% a day. Again, this is an average. It can be more, it can be less. It will depend on the volume. But the more you tighten up, notice that your yield will get higher and higher. So now it's at 3%. I'm going to tighten it up also here. Now it's at 0.019%. So you see why most of the liquidity is deployed around this grayish block. That's because yield farmers want to make the most out of it. Then also note that your deposit ratio will be shown here depending on how you have set up your ranges. So if I tweak this a little bit here, notice how it will change. And it's pretty much because the current price is the white line here. And if you have something like this, which is perfectly 50-50 deployed on the downside and 50% deployed on the upside of the price, you will have a deposit ratio of 50-50. But if I start tweaking up, you'll see how it changes. Now I'm having a deposit ratio of 82, 18. And the reason why that is, it's because the white line, being the current price, dictates how much on the left our range supports. So in this case, this range supports 18% Solana, and on the right side it supports 82% Infinity token. And just to make things simpler for users, there's also the option for you to auto swap. So if you only have one of these tokens in your wallet, you don't have to specifically trade them in order to have the perfect ratio. You can click on auto swap and Orca will do everything for you in the back end. So if you bring $1,000 worth of Infinity token here, they will auto swap to fit your deposit ratio of choice, okay? So this is one option. Another, it could be potentially you come and choose, for example, the Jup token. You swap Solana for some Jupiter staked Sol, and then let's go find a liquidity pool that has Jupiter staked Sol in it. Again, we go to Gecko terminal and try to find jupSOL. It's showing me already all the pools. You see jupSOL paired with Solana. There's even jupSOL paired with jitosol, another liquid staking token. These pools are old enough to give me some confidence. They are very close to 1 year old. I like this first one, volume over 11 million, liquidity 1.8 million. I like this a lot. This is a great ratio. Again, this is on Orca, so let's go on Orca and try to find this pool, jupSOL paired with Sol. So let me click here, trade Orca. Under pools we'll write jupSOL. It's showing us the token here already. And there we go, jupSOL paired with Solana, 0.01% fit here. For the past 24 hours, this has yielded 0.06%. Again, guys, this might not seem a lot, but you're playing for the long run and you're holding Solana essentially. We also find here another interesting pool with jupSOL paired with JLP. So this first pool, it will have virtually no impermanent loss because again, jupSOL is pegged to Solana. It's a liquid staking derivative of Solana. Then once you select the pool you wish to deposit on, the same process applies when it comes to full range or you set up your own custom ranges. So this pool has a higher estimated yield because it has been performing better for the past 24 hours. So if we tighten up the ranges here, you can expect something at around 0.13% or maybe higher if you are willing to tighten up your range even further. Since this is a Solana derivative, the price it will be pegged to Solana, so it's a pretty stable pool again, and that's why you also see a very low pool fit here. So we can go tighter here with more confidence. Well, let's jump here on CoinGecko. You can see that the price of Jupiter staked Sol is actually higher than Solana. It's at 135 and Solana is at 124. And if we check Jito staked Sol, the same thing happens, $148 per token. So you might be wondering, okay, why are they worth more than Solana? And that's just because these are the representation of staked Solana, and in this case the yield that the staked Solana is earning to stakers is being compounded, and as that happens, the liquid staked token's price goes up because it also represents that accrued yield over time. And this is going to be true for every liquid staking token. So you can see why this is a very powerful way to grow your Solana bag, and the best thing about it is that it's completely passive. But if you go back here to the correlations matrix on DeFi Llama, jupSOL and Sol are pretty much perfectly correlated. For the past 7 days, the score is 1. The same for the past month. For the past year, not so much. It has been 0.3, but still a very good score. So these are just a couple options of low risk DeFi strategies that you can start operating today to invest in Solana. So to recap, your exposure will be to Solana. Number 1, that's the layer 1 of risk. Number 2 is to the liquid staking token, which you are then trading your Solana for. Then when you go onto a specific liquidity pool, that's the 3rd layer of risk. Although this is all still considered to be low risk because of all the factors I mentioned. The correlation matrix shows us the low likelihood of impermanent loss, and so far none of these DeFi protocols have been hacked or have experienced some sort of exploit, despite being used by thousands of users, and they have volumes in the order of millions of dollars daily. You see, for the past 24 hours on Orca, the volume has been over $522 million. So these are some of the most reliable reliable DeFi protocols right now, you can start earning yield on Solana, yield farming, by following the strategies I just shared with you on today's video. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, suggestions. I would also love to hear your thoughts if you are already yield farming Solana with some of these opportunities, some similar ones, maybe using some borrow and lending protocol. That's something I will cover in future videos for sure. But let me know how bullish you are about Solana. And by the way, all of these options will also have very low management requirements from you. So guys, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content. Take care. I'm going to wrap this one up. I'll see you on the next one.